Hello and welcome to Behind the Music for Daily Hope. I'm Kristin, Holton, Prouty, and this week we're continuing on in our study in the book of Daniel, and we're going to be hearing that old Sunday school story about Daniel in the lion's den. Now, our theme for this series is called Daring Faith, and so we're focusing on all the things that Daniel, or the friends that he had in the book of Daniel, and how they had faith in God regardless of all the things that they went through. And sometimes we think of that as being like a really big concept, daring faith. And as I was thinking about Daniel in the lion's den, I was thinking about some stories that I heard when I was young. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, my mom liked to read me mission stories, things that took place in countries exotic and far, far away, but the faith that these people had. And so one story came to mind, and that's the story of a missionary named Tequila. And he was in a village telling the people about God, and so many came to believe, and so he said, okay, I'm done in this village, I'm going to go to the next village and share what I have to tell there. Now, what he didn't know was in the village where he had been, the witch doctors were not happy because they had been the powerful ones that everybody would go to when they needed something, and now they were turning to God. And so the witch doctors said they made their little concoction or whatever they did, and they wanted the lions to attack Tequila. Well, he didn't know that, and he was happy with the work that he and God had done in this one village, and so he set off in the afternoon to go to the next village. What he didn't know was that it was farther than he had anticipated, and so it started to become dark, and he realized he wasn't to the next village. There was no place to stay. He was all alone. What was he going to do? Well, he knelt down and he prayed, and he said, God, I'm here, I've got to get to the next village, and I just need you to protect me. And he got back up, and he kept walking. He was walking through the savannah, and he heard something, and he looked, and he saw a lion. Looked around, saw some more lions. Pretty soon he realized there were lions all around him. They weren't trying to attack him, they were walking with him. They were beside him, they were behind him. He walked all night. As the sun came up in the morning, he saw the village in the distance, looked around, the lions disappeared, and he thought to himself, did God send the lions as my guardian angels that I'd prayed for to protect me as I walked through? So he arrived at the next village early in the morning, and the people said, where did you come from? And he said, I came from the next village over. And they said, how did you get here? It's so far, and you have to walk through the savannah where all the hungry lions are. How did you make it? Nobody dares to leave our village at night for fear of being attacked by lions. And so he was able to tell them the story of how God saved him from the lions. And so many came to believe and trust in the true God because of his daring faith in walking through the night surrounded by lions. So a little modern Daniel in the Lion's Den story there for you. This weekend, the choir is going to be singing an anthem called Be Strong in the Lord. Now, probably none of us are going to have the opportunity to need to be saved from lions. Here's hoping, right? But we all have little trials and things that we need to struggle and get through, and we do have to have that reminder of being strong and courageous. This hymn was written by Linda Johnson and Tom Fetke, and she wrote it in 1978. She was on the plane to go to her grandfather's funeral, and she wanted somehow to have words to share with her grieving family that they needed to stay strong, they needed to trust in the Lord, and this was the result. So let me read you one of the verses. Be strong in the Lord and be of good courage. Your mighty commander will vanquish the foe. Fear not the battle, for the victory is always his. He will protect you wherever you go. Be strong, be strong, be strong in the Lord, and be of good courage, for he is your guide. Be strong, be strong, be strong in the Lord, and rejoice, for the victory is yours. So we all have that promise. Be strong in the Lord. The victory is his. He's always with us. We can stand and be courageous because we know who's fighting for us. So I look forward to being with you again next week. Enjoy this hymn, Be Strong in the Lord.